So, Dean, you can introduce yourself.
I'm Dean Druce, the President of the Regional Chamber.
And John Crothers, Executive Officer, and here to ask Dean a few questions because unfortunately he's not going to be there on the 6th of June. But Dean, I want you to share some key insights of the achievements that we've been able to happen over the last 12 months since the Chamber really got back into gear.
Yeah, look, as a Chamber and as a region, we've had a lot of key not only events, but we've also had some key wins along the way. So that better access into the council, also the state, member in Justin Clancy as well. So being able to pick up the phone and have that conversation and hard-hitting conversation, really frankly. I think the biggest one that we've had is to be able to hold an event such as, the dinner with the governor was something that we don't just get without the involvement of the Chamber. So if we lose the Chamber as we know it now, in the last 12 months, we lose the access to, the governor, Justin Clancy, all of these other things as well.
Yeah, spot on. As Chair, what do you see the critical steps for achieving sustainability for this regional chamber of both business and maybe community as well?
So the biggest thing that I see in order to achieve sustainability is actually the businesses within our region as a whole investing in ourselves. So without that buy-in of businesses, because we can stick our head in the sand as a business owner and just look after what we've got ourselves, or we can actually buy into the whole region and create sustainability not just for ourselves but for everyone else along the journey as well.
Right. So with that, what is your message to members? We're coming together on the 6th of June to have a special meeting about our future. What's your message to members? Unfortunately, you can't be there. What would you like them to be thinking about?
My thing that I want them to really take on board here is we want to do it all together. We're all hurting at the moment, discretionary spend, all of those things that we all hear all the time. But we're actually here to fight those battles together versus individually, as a business or on the home front as well. So let's come together, and as a chamber, you can put your hand up and say, this is affecting me, and you find other like-minded people that have that same issue, and we can actually group that together and go out there. We don't see it as a community and as a business world especially as a weakness. We actually see it as a strength, being able to identify what our problems and our weaknesses are and actually going after those people and getting stronger as a group together.
Yeah. And just an expansion of why region is important to us.
Look, the region's always going to be important to us, and we are, as a business world, we are Corowa Distilling Co. But there's nothing prouder than being able to talk about the wine barrels that we get from Rutherglen. Those visitors that come up to here, a lot of them don't even know that Corowa exists. And if we try and promote Corowa Business Chamber versus the regional business chamber, we'll always lose that battle. But if we come together, and that strength that we have across the river and further up north and even further to the east of us, we're stronger as a collective, and we can actually be better, and our businesses will thrive. Not just the community and we'll build more homes, but the community of businesses will sell more, we'll employ more people, and we'll have sustainability and strength in that.
So just with that future picture, if we can make this happen, whether we can invest in the resources we need, financial sustainability, what do you see in 3 or 5 years for where we are today versus where we could be if we don't? That one versus the other.
Look, my thing that I look at is I see the Hunter Valley and I see the Barossa and even, the Yarra Valley. We all know exactly what we're talking about there. Now, our Corowa Rutherglen piece, great wine in Rutherglen, but how many people are actually coming to us versus how many people are going to the Hunter Valley and all these other places? So it's not just a selfish tourism piece, but it's actually bringing together all of those key stakeholders and actually creating a really valuable proposition for that wider network for us to be that mecca that we all know we are. You've got Albury upstream from us that was last year's What If Town of the Year. You've got downstream from us Yarrawonga, which is in every real estate article known to man. We sit halfway between both of those. We've got the same stretch of river. It's undeveloped. We're a time capsule waiting to explode. We've got everything here. We've got transport. We've got industry. Vacant land. what's holding us back? To me, it's us not investing in ourselves and actually coming together for the broader picture. And at the moment, we're too scared of that. So we're sitting there just burying our head in the sands and worrying about ourselves. And there's a lot of businesses that are doing really well doing that, but could they be doing better when they invest and actually come together?
Great. Well captured. Thanks, Dean. And we'll see how we go on the 6th of June.
Thank you. Sorry I couldn't make it on the 6th of June, but I hope all goes well and look forward to hearing the feedback.
Yeah, easy. Fantastic.
So, John Crothers here as the Executive Officer of the Business Chamber, and unfortunately Nathan Sandrell can't be with us on the 6th of June at our special meeting, but Nathan, being employed by Riverlea, a major employer in the region, wanted to really take that opportunity not to miss your message, Nathan, if that was, so welcome. Thanks for having us here out at Riverlea. Yes. Lovely backdrop.
Yeah, no, thanks, John. I really do am appreciative of the opportunity to be able to just say a few words, and I apologise I can't be there on the night, so I hope you have a good evening. Wasn't going to miss out an opportunity though to try and express my views. Riverlea, as John said, and as you know, we're a very large employer of the community, and I think this is a really important discussion and that you're having tonight. Why I'm here is, one part of the board member, but one representing Riverlea, and our new owners, JBS, who are the world's largest protein company and certainly have their eyes in the fire everywhere and see the importance of being involved in the chamber.
That's great. So over the last 12 months, Nathan, you've come on board, literally on board with the board, which we appreciate. Can you give me what have you taken from the last 12 months? What does that meant for Riverlea, but I suppose the broader businesses in our region?
Yeah. Okay. No, not a problem, John. So happy to be part of the committee. For Riverlea, it doesn't matter if you're like us and we've got 300,000 people globally employed, or if you've got 3, you've still got the same politics and the same networking that you need to do. It doesn't change no matter how big or small you are. And that was a real eye-opener to me when JBS got us and they said, Nathan, just, would you be interested? And you came out and you approached me and said, yeah, we'd be keen to have you on board. And it's about that networking. It's really important. It doesn't matter what your scale is, because it's still the same people you're going to talk to in council, the same people you're going to talk to in government regarding the size of your business. So that's really important to have that connection and then to know where to find those connections, which is why the Chamber's been great for us.
Great. So we've established our core, let's call it our North Star, or our purpose around visitation, around livability for the region. We feel that that's a really important part of it. The benefits of that you see in relation to how it aligns with, say, Riverlea's goals. When you think of those two areas that you've been part of us forming that position, can you just maybe talk to how you see that parallel with Riverlea and the goals with livability and visitation?
Yeah, for sure. Not a problem, John. So the Chamber probably, and I've only been in full transparency, probably 12 months being part of the Chamber. And in that time, there's been a lot of energy and drive to take this Chamber as far as it possibly can to make the most out of the people they've got in the room and to get the most out of most for the community. And that's what the Chamber's there about. So with its direction and drive for livability, having this region here, which is a beautiful region for people to want to come, how does that help me and my business? We do employ literally close to 700 people here locally. It's huge. And we want to employ local people, and we want people who are here to stay here. So the Chamber's direction of trying to make this town or this region as best as it possibly can be ticks so many boxes. For us, it's a great pool of employment that stays here. For other businesses who are relying on those people coming through the door, it's about attracting people to want to come to this region and live here and rear their families here. So it doesn't matter if you're trying to on the employment side or if you're in the sales and marketing or retail, or the goal's the same, just wanting people to be in this region and stay here.
Yeah, I agree. Just talk on one of the initiatives that we've worked on together with the school, and we know how important the school is, the brand, the future of our region, and what we've endeavoured to do in that sense, and I think that's something we've enjoyed engaging in. But do you want to give us a little bit of background on that and what we're hoping to still achieve, even though we've got a couple of speed humps in the road? But maybe some background on that one would be really good.
Sure, not a problem, John. So to probably put everyone in the picture of what John's referring to there is the Corowa High School, and I went to the Corowa High School myself, but back when I went, there was a lot more kids and there was an ag teacher, and I certainly was part of that classroom. But today, unfortunately, there's a lot less kids, and that's not due to what we think everyone's leaving. It's just because we have got less people in the region, and for whatever those reasons are, that's what we're here to try and improve on. But they're just less kids, and as a spin-off of that, they've got a few less choices, and not having an ag teacher currently is one of those unfortunate choices they can't choose. We have been working really hard on that. We have acquired a person who was willing to relocate and come here and be the ag teacher for Corowa, but there's a lot of hurdles, and we just couldn't get across all the hurdles today. But that doesn't mean tomorrow that there could be an opportunity. So we'll continue to work on trying to get the best we can for the high school, so that people can have the best education they can choose to have.
Yeah, and I think it's a real extension of, people see us as a business chamber, but the thing around community, we know what we're about as a committee and what we're endeavouring to do. Or maybe a lot of people don't understand that. Do you maybe just want to put your frame around our role, not just with business but community, and how that aligns back again to what Rivalea are about?
Yeah, I like the cake analogy. It takes a lot of ingredients to make a really good cake, and it might sound silly, but the business chamber, the Corowa Business Chamber, it's the fundamental core of that cake, and they know who has the eggs and who has the flour and where to get the milk from. It's the simplest analogy. So if you're a new business in town, and like in theory, JBS was a new business in town 12 months ago, they said, right, John, where do I get the cake and where do I get the eggs? So in other words, which councillor do I need to talk to, or who can I help my new employees find accommodation? And it's just that source of one person or that one organisation to go to helps make the community better. It doesn't matter what part of the cake you need to make or what sort of cake. It's just knowing that the chamber's there and knows who to go talk to and how to get the best outcome. That's what the chamber does really well. I think it's really important.
Yep, well said. So the last 12 months, we've had our challenges. Maybe from your lens, what you see the major challenges are, which is why we're having a special meeting on the 6th. And how do we take those challenges and, dare I say, turn into opportunities?
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a
tough one.
That's a
I'll
tough.
put you on. I'll put you under the pump.
Yeah. Well, let's not sugarcoat anything.
No.
Let's put it straight out there. The chamber has really, really high ambitions. Really high ambitions. But with those high ambitions, and they ultimately are relying on the majority of those people in that boardroom who are all volunteers. We're all business people in our own rights, and we're trying to volunteer our time to get the most for our region and get these really, really great outcomes, as we just spoke about a few of them before, especially like trying to help the high school. And it doesn't stop at high schools, it doesn't stop with education. There's all different avenues that we're trying to touch to make the Corowa region, or this region in general, a fantastic place that people want to choose to come and reside here, live here, rear their children, and their children want to stay here. Because it's really sad, and I'm one of 9 children, and there's only 2 of us here locally in the region because they've had to leave elsewhere to suit their needs. So the decision you need to make today, and the truth of the matter is, for us to get the most out of the chamber, we can't do it 100% on a voluntary basis. That's probably the crux of it, really. We need to be able to be self-funded of some capacity, or generate revenue of some capacity, to be able to afford to employ a skill level that is going to foresee the needs of what our ambition is. And that's still to be determined on exactly that skill level and exactly that amount of money, but there's money involved. And we just can't run on an oily rag, unfortunately, to get the best out of it. If we want to really shoot for the stars, and I wish we do, to be quite honest, because it's going to be the best thing for the community, we need to make a strong decision today or in the very near future about the direction of this chamber. So that's why we're all here today, is the viability of where we're going to go, and it doesn't come for free, and we've got to work out how to get the best value and the best dollar that we can possibly get and spend it well.
So yeah, and just talking further to call it the new model or a way of going at achieving that sustainability, the importance of region, why we feel Corowa Business Chamber is not really where we need to just focus ourselves, and why we feel that regional piece is so important, and what that might look like going forward with not just business but maybe community involvement as well.
Yeah, sure. I reckon that's the easiest part to answer that, but there's 2 parts to it in my take. One is, this historically, was the Corowa Business Chamber. So people have got in their mindset just Corowa, but people don't just want to come to Corowa, they want to come to a region. And straight across that river, and you can, well, the trees are there, but there's a beautiful river in between us and Victoria, but you've got Rutherglen, Waganya, beautiful townships on the other side, and where it's a draw card. The region's the draw card. And a lot of our employees and employers here, they share both sides of that river. So we're really shooting ourselves in the foot, thinking that we're just Corowa-centric. We need to think bigger and then get our assets that are around us to work together.
Yep.
Just holistically, it just makes sense. So it just, that's the bigger picture of this other angle you're discussing tonight is, are we just Corowa, or are we actually going to open up and go, no, there's other people on the other side of the river, and some of us live on the other side of the river. It's a great region. Let's bring it all together under one umbrella.
Great. So just lastly, personal message from you, Nathan. I mean, you can't be there, unfortunately. You've been an active part of what we're endeavouring to do. What do you want to leave us with?
Yeah, thank you. So as we talked about before, we volunteer our time because we really are passionate about this region. I myself, fourth generation to this area. I've got rearing my family here. I want my children to have an opportunity to be able to live here and have employment here as well. But and for that to happen, the town has to thrive. It really has to thrive. And I'm sorry I can't be there tonight, but unfortunately I had to travel for a job, for my work. But I suppose if I was to have one last hurrah and one plea is to have a good listen to what you've heard about tonight. Think about your children or what you want this town to be like in another 50 years' time. And it's a bit of a fork in the road. We can continue to shrink like the high school is, or we can try to get the most out of this town and attract people to come and stay here and work here and make this town just fantastic. So, yeah.
Great.
Big decisions, but yeah, best of luck, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Nathan.
No, it's
Cheers.
all right. Thank you, John.